So we're here at the Adepa waste system, where a number of waste from Accra is disposed of, and also a waste discovery point. The Electoral Commission has come to the eastern region, where this facility is located, to dispose of some error-ridden ballot papers, which has issues with its serialization from the Ahafo and the Volta region. If viewers will recall, on November 15, the Electoral Commission released a statement indicating that the ballot papers for the Ahafo region and the Volta region will be reprinted because the EC's own audit had uncovered certain problems with the serialization. Subsequent to that reprinting, the old ballot papers which had problems have been disposed of, and today the commission is here together with representatives of the political parties and some of the deputy directors of the electoral commission to dispose of the ballot papers. Now, as you can see written boldly on this particular structure, that is the data room and then the weigh room. So what they are doing here essentially is to get the weight of the products or the papers that are going to be disposed of. We have been told by officials who manage this particular landfill site that it is an in-house measure that they take to be able to keep data on the number of waste they collect here and the number of waste that they dispose. 3 vehicles are being used for this particular exercise. The last vehicle whose data is being taken, 2 more vehicles now are heading towards the area where the burning will be done. We have been told that the disposal will be done through burning. According to officials at this particular waste landfill site, they indicate to us that if you look at the area which looks like a mountain, it is behind that portion that usually they do their waste disposal. But because of certain chemicals that are there and the likelihood of causing a combustion when burning is being done, they've selected a bare land where they are going to do the burning. After that is done, the officials or agents for the various political parties will append their signature to a form that has been created by the Electoral Commission to certify that indeed such papers have been disposed of. I mean, an example of the presence of the political parties here or candidates in the election is that, as you can see in the shot there, that is a vehicle of independent presidential candidate Alan Chomartin. The other political parties and candidates also have their representatives here. The third vehicle in your shot contains ballot papers from the Ahafo and the Bono region, and pretty soon these 3 vehicles will take turns to these papers from these 3 vehicles will be removed from the vehicle and then will be disposed by the officials here at the Park Westland in the presence of officials from the Electoral Commission and the presence of officials, agents of the political parties, as well as the Ghana Police Service. The Commission is doing this to ensure that there's transparency and there's credibility going into the 2024 general elections. It's important to note that these papers are both presidential and parliamentary ballot papers, and because they have problems with it, not going to be used for the election. Prevent from making any form of or drawing conclusions that have been used for things they ought not to have been used, the disposal system is such that it will be destroyed totally. And as we've been directed by officials here, sites that are said land site, they are going to do so through burning. And so the first two vehicles for which the the disposal is going to be done. After these two, there's a last vehicle for which the burning will be done. In your shot, you can see officials of the waste landfill site getting ready, taking out the ballot bags, which actually contain the ballot papers. On these bags, I can see that there are inscriptions of constituencies. So if you get in this particular bag, you can see Afajato South. So these meaning that for the Volta region, for the presidential election, if you get closer to the bags, you can see written on it Volta presidential and the constituency written on it. This particular one I saw was South Tong. Let's get some actions really on how the work is ongoing.
Who did this? No, so somebody, one of the.
So the commission, together with staff from the Aseda Waste Landfill site, they are taking out the ballot papers from the ballot boxes, or let me say bags that contain the ballot papers. So what usually will happen is that the bags are taken off the vehicle, and then there is a certain form of clipper around the zip which is taken off, and then a seal on, and then the bag is then opened, and then the ballot papers, which are in various types, are then now taken out. They'll be then placed here, and after that the officials of the waste landfill site will take a decision as to whether or not how they are going to burn it. But what we've been told is that because of the sensitive nature of these materials, the best way of disposing them off, the best way of getting them out is to burn them totally. And so all these papers you see here eventually will be burnt. We've seen that a number of these are in a certain rubbers. How many of them are in one?
No, you can't determine. It's based on the number of bundles that can go into a bag.
So there's no uniform number per rubber. No. And the bag also is dependent on that.
Well, we have booklets of 100s, 50s, 25 and 10s. Okay, and usually we start bagging from bag 1 with the 100s. As we go along, the last bag takes the smaller units.
So as many as can go into a particular bag will go in. And if I look at it carefully, in some of the rubbers that contain the ballot books, I can count as many as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ballot books in one particular rubber. If it's a booklet of 100, that gives you 700 ballot papers. And this is the list for this is the ballot. These are ballot papers for special voting, and you can definitely see that they were separated from the other ballot papers for which which were going to be used for the December 7 election. So the special voting would have been way earlier, somewhere around where the special voting would have been held, and then later December 7th, the general election will be held. And so, in transporting these papers, the differentiation has been done so that the electoral officers in the regions and the districts will be able to take the special voting papers out accurately. Now, it's important to get an understanding of what the problem. It's important to get an understanding of what the problem is or was. All these ballot papers have serial numbers, and they have unique serial numbers, but the serial numbers are attached in a certain sequence, and it is done in an automatic format. Now, when they're printing for,
They splash petrol on it, and then we continue adding more. So let's go back so that it can burn and burn to the ground. Okay, we don't want to leave any single ballot paper here. So please, can we go back? Let them pour petrol on it. Hold on, let them pour petrol, and then we go to another round of adding more, piling it up.
that's an official of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Fred Tete, is in charge of research at the Electoral Commission. Is giving direction to agents here and journalists here to give way for some petrol to be splashed on the ballot papers. Indeed, the commission is hoping to destroy these papers totally to the end. Mr. Fred, how important really is it to destroy these papers totally? You could have just, a certain route.
Well, ballot papers at this stage of the electoral process are highly sensitive, and therefore, when issues are related to the ballot paper, what you have to do is to make sure they are totally destroyed, to the extent that you not see even part of the ballot papers anywhere, because one single ballot paper getting into the hands of any person could lead to a whole lot of can bring issues of whether the elections affect the conduct of the elections in a particular constituency or the region concerned.
These are ballot papers that had issues with their serialization. Wouldn't it be the officers on the ground on election day could have identified that this is not a well serialized paper that should be part of the voting?
Well, in terms of when you look at these ballot papers clearly, they have every feature of ballot papers being printed in other places. Maybe you take a booklet or two, you find those kind of problems. But what about the others in the booklet? Right. So that's why the need, if the commission saying that yes, we found this with the ballot paper, what with the directives that the commission has given, yes, we have to destroy them.
When you say that the automatic way of issuing the serial numbers missed the appropriate sequencing, what were you talking about?
Well, in printing, it does happens. In printing, even when you are doing a photocopy in your office, sometimes you see some of the papers with the edges of the papers folded up and then the print. So, or even you are running a photocopier, you see that some of the photocopied document is not well aligned, right? So these are things that sometimes happen in printing.
So in my mind, when you say the sequence, I'm thinking that, let's say this ballot number is 001. The sequence is that it has been done for the next one following to be 002. But in this instance, perhaps it printed 005. Am I right?
That's not what we are making reference to. The machine can jump, okay, by maybe totally omitting the imprinting of a serial number on a ballot. Okay, so you can have 001, the machine skips 002, and then the next ballot. So you see the ballot that is meant for 002, blank.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say? But the next ballot you see 003. That tells you the blank one is supposed to be what? 002.
So when you said that the printing house was doing it manually, meaning that it was going back looking at the blank papers and correcting same.
Exactly. And sometimes because it's a machine that is doing the serialization, what happens is that the alignment. Okay, you can have situation where the serial numbers are supposed to be. Okay, either it's entered into the black demarcation line. Okay, so it will be difficult if it's given to you unless you turn the back of the ballot paper, then you will see the serial number. But at the front of the ballot paper where you have the pictures, you will not see unless you look at it very carefully in the black demarcation line. So those are.
Will the commission say it did diligent job in selecting the printing houses? Because we've had a situation in the past where some printing houses couldn't print to the timeline that was given, and now we have some printing houses printing with error reading serialization. If somebody is saying that the selection of these printing houses, perhaps the commission didn't do much more diligence, what will you say?
No, you cannot conclude that because the commission did the recce of all those printing houses before contract was awarded to printing houses. Okay, and if you could go into some of those ballot papers, you can see that you can see some of them written, completed, everything. So in terms of what the commission is saying, it doesn't mean that when you take a whole bundle, let's say 10 pieces or 20 pieces of maybe you see 1 or 2, 3 things in there. Okay, and that's why I'm saying that once a while it happens. Okay, the company that printed this ballot has been printing ballot papers, okay, as far back as 2000. Okay, so it's not something that we can end. We cannot also say that they don't have the machines. The commission went round, evaluated all those printing houses before the contract was awarded. Okay, so
but this is at an extra cost because you've had to do reprinting of these ballot papers again. Who bears the cost?
I may not like to talk to that issue.
No, that's fine. So that's a director of the electric commission. Deals with research and also deals with the public relations aspects for the commission. Mr. Fred Tete. We are here at the Aseda Waste landfill site. And we are following keenly as the commission disposes of some of these ballot papers, and also the commission is trying as much as possible to do this in the full glare of all party officials, trying to do this with the media present so that at least nobody can stand anywhere to say that the commission did not put away these ballot papers. The explanation we've gotten from Mr. Tete suggests that some of these ballot papers, if you take them to the voting center, the polling center on December 7, will be close to or even not the same as some of the ballot papers that will be issued to voters. Hence, if you do not destroy them and they get into the hands of persons who are planning things untoward as far as the 2024 general elections is concerned, then you may not be supervising a fair and a transparent election. You may be supervising an election that will be easy for people to engage in ballot stuffing, to engage in multiple voting, or even putting foreign materials into the ballot box. Reason the appropriate measure they've taken to destroy it is burning. One other question, perhaps, we'll try to find out from the commission whether they've considered the idea of shredding some of these papers, because I mean, we've been talking about saving the environment and preventing things like always burning waste and finding alternative means of disposing of waste. And so maybe there are instances that the commission will have to think around on how to dispose of these papers without necessarily burning them, and also meeting the requirement of political parties. We've been told that this will be the second set of burning that the commission will be doing. The commission earlier last week disposed of what they refer to as overs. Now, during the printing of the ballot papers, the printing houses print in excess of the amount of ballot papers that they are supposed to print, and then print in excess of the amount of ballot papers they are supposed to print, and then they sort out what is actually proper for the purposes of the contract that they've signed with the commission. The rest of the papers, which we would ordinarily call it excess, are what the electoral commission calls overs, and we have been told that those overs have already been burnt and been destroyed. And the electoral commission earlier showed us a template of a form that was signed by the political parties and their representatives, asserting to and confirming that those papers had been disposed of properly. What is happening today is the papers for Ahafo and Volta region. These papers had error-ridden serialization. The serialization was supposed to be done in an automatic manner, but one way or the other, there was a problem with the sequencing. So, for instance, the machine prints a ballot paper with serial number 001, and the next ballot paper, which is supposed to be 002, is blank, and then ends up printing 003. 004 is blank and prints 005. As a stopgap measure, the printing house decided to correct the error manually by now, say, writing 002 on the blank ballot paper and writing 004 on the blank ballot paper. But the electoral commission deemed that it was not foolproof. It was not one that could instill a certain form of confidence in the system, could instill a certain form of transparency within the process. And so on November 15th, the electoral commission released a statement essentially saying that it has entrusted back press and arts commercials to engage in the reprinting of these ballot papers. So what it means is that the Ahafo and Volta region had new ballot papers printed for them for the purposes of the 2024 general elections. So what then happens to the old ballot papers? Reason we are here today at the Aseda Waste Management Center, where these ballot papers are at the Waste Management System where these ballot papers are being disposed of. Let's try and see if we can speak to some of the agents, the political party agents, to understand from them, see this entire process. But I must also say that this is being done with the police service providing security for the people, and to make sure that nothing untoward happens, to make sure that the destruction of these ballot papers are done in a proper manner. Trying to approach some of the party agents and get from their own understanding of what is happening and whether the EC is doing it in a way that they will like. Sit down, please. What's your name?
I'm Benedict.
Benedict.
Yeah.
Benedict what, please?
Benedict Boy.
Boy.
Yeah.
So which party or which candidate are you an agent for?
The National Democratic Congress.
The National Democratic Congress. But you seem to be far away from the action.
No, I'm not far away. I'm just monitoring the actions, right?
Okay, so you're seeing everything.
Yeah. Certainly. We brought it here, so we know what we are looking at.
This is not the first time you've been here. I'm told you've already disposed of the overs.
That's the misconception out there, right? Now, what do we mean by overs? Overs are simply mean the add-ons to the original ones. And after printing, then they get everything right. Then you take it out, then you burn it, then destroy the plate. That is the one we burnt, not the main one.
If you say not the main one, what do you mean?
I mean this
Yeah,
ballot.
I mean that's fine, but the overs have been explained to us. What we would in ordinary parlance would have referred to as the excess ballot.
Fine, that's your understanding of
Yeah.
it, but it's called overs.
It's called overs. So those ones have been destroyed.
We've destroyed that. That is the first thing.
That have been destroyed.
Printing, you need to destroy that one, and the plates as well.
Okay, the plate that is used to print it.
That's right. We've done those ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we are doing here today is a ballot paper for Ahafo and Volta,
Yes.
which the electoral commission ordered a reprinting into.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Were you there when they were printing these ballot papers?
From day one.
You were there from day one.
Yes, from day one.
The electoral commission is telling us that it is through its own audit mechanism that realized the problem with the.
And I can also tell you that my brother standing over here and the other one, we were the people who detected that. We detected it and told them.
It wasn't the electoral commission.
It's coming as a surprise to me.
Is it that when you detected it, you didn't tell the commission, you told your bosses at the headquarters, and then the commission later found out on their own?
Of course, we are there to check all those things, right? So now, after the moment you detect something, there are supervisors over there. Okay. They're supposed to tell them before we tell our superiors.
Okay.
Right? It was a random check. Myself and my two other colleagues, we were just checking. It was just a random check, picking up the 100 books, checking the serial number, and then we found out that some were 107, 105 and stuff. You know, it's serialized with 06001. You understand that? Then from there you get your hundreds. So it was true that we picked. It was just a random sampling. Well, we saw it.
So after you uncovered it, was it rampant, or I mean, did it happen in every 100, or it was rare to see?
You know, you pick it up constituency by constituencies.
Okay.
Right. Then we checked the year. Then we checked. We found out that anomaly. We told them we checked this. We found that. Check this. Found that. You understand that? That is how come the whole thing became down. Then we have to look at it. Before then, we had already bagged Ahafo, parliamentary and presidential. But because of what we found in Volta region, we had to break the seals again to audit the Ahafo end.
Because Ahafo papers were leaving the announcement was made just a day before the transfer of the Ahafo papers.
Now and then we had already broken the seals of Ahafo presidential to thoroughly check again whether we'll find same thing as we saw in how do you call it
in Volta.
But lo and behold, yes, we did find one or two, but that wasn't a major problem.
A lot of the problems were from Volta.
We found some in Ahafo, but we had to solve it out.
So this printing press that you were in, were they printing just Ahafo and Volta?
Yeah, only those two regions. Yeah, only those two regions. So after finding out those things, they did a very thorough work, did everything, and I can tell you, I don't know the models of operandums of taking out the contract. I don't want to veer into it, right? But I can tell you the ones over there that we are doing are the most properly checked ballot papers.
Across all.
Yes, I can say that because if we've counted leaf by leaf and you've done all the corrections, what do you think?
So when the printing press was trying to do the manual correction, did you agree?
You know, in every printing and everything, there are mistakes which need to be corrected. So provided it is correct, we are cool with it. So we were vigilant on the job. working and checking everything vigilant. So, of course, we agree. We allow them to do it. But then we can't take a decision. Our superiors over there have to take the decision because we report same to them.
I believe then having with the overs were they destroyed here?
No. At the premises of the company.
Okay, so the overs were destroyed at the premises of the company.
Exactly.
In your presence.
Yes.
So this is the first time of experiencing the work to be done by.
Exactly by this. Yeah.
So far, are they doing everything right?
Oh yeah, that's what we all hope to see, that everything is bent thoroughly and we have no traces.
Will you start leaving when the flames go up or when you see the last act?
No. That can't be. That can't be. It can't be because you see they are very compact. So we need to see when the flame gets into it. We have to see that it's more than halfway burned before we leave here. So I was yes. Well, you can get it because the down wouldn't bend.
Okay.
The down wouldn't bend, so they need to turn it around. You see, I was telling the manager on site that petrol wouldn't be best, but rather diesel.
Okay.
Diesel would be the best option for burning because that's what we used at the premises of the printing house, and it was okay for us. So I think if they do this, we are not leaving yet till we see ashes.
Ashes.
Yes.
And what is the fear? I mean, these are ballot papers that have been taken out.
It's no fear, but we want to see ashes.
Will you take some of the ashes home?
Oh no! What do we do with ashes? But we want to see ashes. We don't fear anything. There's nothing to fear about. But we want to see ashes. That's all.
Thank you very much. If is it possible to point me to the NPP rep who's here? We know that the other political parties and their agents are also here. So
we have Cheddar representatives over here too.
So we try and speak to more representatives of the political parties here who are joining who are joining the Electoral Commission to dispose of these waste. So one of the independent candidates has his representative here as well. He represents Nana Kwame. She represents Nana Kwame Bediakon. Let me try and get from her own views on what is happening. Can you please help us with your name? Can you help us with your name?
Please, my name is Evelyn Mensah, representing Nana Kwame Bediakon.
So, were you part of the burning of the overs?
Yes, please.
Is the process any different from what is happening today?
Oh, actually, there is not much difference. It's just that over there it was not in a large quantity as in compared to what we have here right now. I think this is the largest part that we are about to destroy.
Thank you very much. And so the destruction is still ongoing. The Electoral Commission is trying as much as possible to be transparent and to make sure that all parties and all individuals involved in the process come to an understanding of what is happening and appreciate. Now, it's important to note that the ballot box for the first car have been taken. This is the second car. They are taking out the ballot box, so that means we'll be left with the third car, which is a third vehicle, and then after that, the officers from the waste landfill side, which is the Adepa Waste Landfill Center, will now start their own work and make sure that everything here is burnt. They are leaving no stone unturned. The political party agents, as we've spoken to, say that they want to make sure that everything here is burnt to ashes before they leave. Of course, this is the cost of running an election. This is the cost of practicing democracy, transparency, integrity, should be at the forefront. Information should be given to everybody, and so that at least public perception in public institutions will go up and people will trust the process. And we believe that that is what the Electoral Commission is seeking to do. Here at ChannelOne TV and City FM, we try as much as possible to bring you all the angles with respect to the elections from all fronts, either the Electoral Commission, the political parties, the citizenry, or civil society organizations. Reporting for ChannelOne News, Hansen Ajeman.